Hello, Kriksis here and welcome everyone to this week's video. This is unexpected studio vlog. Honestly, I was just filming and creating lots of different art and this video is kind of mix of everything. Grab yourself a cup of tea or coffee or any drink you have and give this video a thumbs up. I hope you also enjoy. This is the newest space where I'm going to live for a couple of months. I've been moving a lot, I know, but I'm here now and yeah, okay, let's go to the video. Hello, this is Kriksis voiceover because I didn't talk during this studio vlog. I was just focusing on creating art, and also sometimes when I work I listen either to music, some podcast, or put some YouTube videos in the background. So this was the case for this time as well, but I just thought that would be interesting if I came here with voiceovers and I would kind of like show a little bit my thinking process behind creating these artworks and also kind of share what I've been doing lately. And yeah, so the first thing I want to show is how I started creating a little bit more of watercolored illustrations. As you know, I recently started working a little bit more with watercolors. So kind of in the beginning of my watercolor rediscovery, I didn't enjoy that watercolors are quite transparent and they can become muddy when I add several layers. So I kind of tried to embrace it, and this is the artwork I worked with watercolors, and then I added a little bit pencils on top, but you can still see the granulations of watercolors and the texture as well, and I really wanted to emphasize it. And this is the scene with a girl in the forest and she's feeding the birds, and it kind of reminds me of one of the artworks I worked, I think it was like already 3 years ago, which is crazy to think about that. I have like that artwork which have been like one of my favorites, and now it's been like such a long time since I created it, and I will share it on the screen as well. But basically it's artwork with a girl in the forest, and it's kind of like in bluish tones. There's some purples inside as well, and it's kind of like sunrise scene. And I wanted kind of to play with this idea, but to bring it into new light, bring it with different color palette and also new medium. And I felt, because I want to experiment with watercolor, I feel bringing the subject I really enjoy and transforming it into a different medium is a way to go. And also I think like now being like playing with watercolors, I kind of start to learn a little bit more what kind of watercolors I enjoy and what kind of watercolors I enjoy a little bit less. And I remember I had like this one video on YouTube where I shared my watercolor palette, which is like this kind of a circle etcher ceramic palette. And I realized that this palette is going to be my traveling palette. So whether I will go outside and sketch, I will bring it with me because it's super small and compact and I really enjoy it, but it's kind of like with a lot of primary colors and like space to mix new colors. And now I started building up my studio watercolor palette and I really, really enjoy it. I feel like I watched recently one of Natasha Newton videos. By the way, you should check her out. But I watched her video and she said, you need to create watercolor palette which you can open and you feel inspired to create art immediately. And this is what I feel with my current watercolor palette. When I open it up, I just want to grab like brushes and start like playing in my sketchbook or on piece of paper because I really love all of these colors and the selection I chose. I have a lot of like colors which are not like mixing colors, which are more like nuanced colors, but I really love them. I think like my favorites are, well, I don't know, this like really hard to choose, but basically my watercolor palette consists of Wallace Seymour vintage watercolors, deep light handmade watercolors, and I have one Daniel Smith watercolor, which is buff titanium, and I also have American Journey Coastal Fog in there as well. So 2 colors are not handmade or vintage, but I felt like they kind of suit the palette as well. But yeah, so this is a little bit behind the scenes, but honestly I didn't film the whole entire process of creating this artwork. It started getting really dark and I really wanted to film most of this video with natural light because I live in a new place and we have more natural light coming from the window, from the outside, and I just really wanted to emphasize it in this video as well.
I could sit around and wait all day. You lay easy on my mind. Like a candle I just burn away. All we really have is time.
Hello, Kriksis here and welcome to this mini art haul. I have purchased 4 more Wallace Seymour watercolors and I decided to show them with you. I really wanted to have a little bit darker colors to my collection and I'm currently building up my watercolor palette and this is how it looks. It's quite neutral, so there are grays, whites, kind of muted greens, blues, more ochres, and I really wanted to have Prussian blue into this collection as well. And I really wanted to play with Caput Mortuum, which is actually quite violety brown shade, but I thought maybe this could be my next color challenge and I could use this color a little bit more. I also have Burnt Sienna, but by the label it looks quite red, so we'll see how it will look. And I also have Davies Grey Oxford Mudstone. This is the color I saw Natasha Newton swatch, and I really liked how it looked, so that's why I added it in here as well. And I will also fill them up into these pans. I think like why I wanted to have these tones as well is because I really wanted to paint night scenes as well. I think Prussian blue is a great night sky color. It's quite vibrant. This is printed on Select brush. Oh yeah. This is like classic Prussian blue, but it's beautiful. And I actually really love it in mass tone, but because a lot of you said like to swatch watercolors with a lot of water, so I will try to do it. So it's, you can see all of its shades. But yeah, for me, I will most probably use it in the darkest form. The next color I want to share with you is called Morvelone Caput Mortuum Violet, and I'm really excited for this color. I hope I will like it. Oh, this one has quite different consistency. It's quite, honestly, it's quite liquidy. I don't know if this should be, wow, it's really liquid. Hopefully it will dry and change the consistency a little bit, because this is like super liquidy. Okay. Oh wow. It's a lovely tone. It actually doesn't look like that violet, which I'm super happy about. It's beautiful tone though. Wow. I'm so happy I got it. In one moment I thought I will get raw umber. I'm glad that I went with this option. It's really beautiful. Okay, so the next one I will swatch is Burnt Sienna, and we'll see if this is how it will look or it will be more orangey. I hope it will be more orangey, to be honest, but yeah, let's see. And I think I did like kind of update with you that I mixed kind of honey with these paints to get a little bit different texture, but this time I will try to just put it straight from the tube and see how it will look. Okay. Completely different consistency. Oh yeah, it looks a little bit better when it's swatched. And I would love to see, maybe I will do some mixing together with you as well. I would love to see how the burnt sienna looks together with Prussian blue and how the mix is looking. Oh, it looks like it will get really beautiful separation. I can see like these. Oh, this is so interesting. I can see the paint moving as I put the paint on. Wow. This might be the most beautiful burnt sienna I have. It's really pretty. And I can see how the paint kind of separates. Maybe I should do bigger swatches in the future as well. I hope the camera is picking this part up, because this is beautiful. You know what? I think I will I will do this in bigger swatch, and then I will do the last color on other piece of paper. So I will have so many different pieces of paper, but I think it will be worth it because this is really interesting. I will have another swatch for another color. I feel it's great to have bigger swatches because you can see the beautiful effects these colors have. And yeah, so the last color I want to swatch is Davies Grey, and it's Oxford Mudstone. So I have actually art challenge coming up in May, and it is connected with birds and different kind of colors. So all of these colors which I'm swatching right now, they will be in the art challenge as well. I actually don't own any Davies Grey color. But first I noticed Davies Grey name in Nature's Palette book, and I was really curious how the color, how I will like it. It's quite interesting texture. It's actually quite transparent. Okay. I will just add a lot of water on this side so we can see how the color act. But yeah, it's kind of like grayish brown color. I think it will be perfect for birds. And I think that's why I got it as well. It's as a bird color. I moved to the new space. It's beautiful place, and I feel what I really enjoyed was to add like these tiny little details in the studio room. And also my husband made bird feeding station, which is honestly the best gift ever, because now I can literally look outside of the window and see all the birds coming to the bird feeding station. And I feel like these birds coming to the station to eat will be such a big influence in my work, and I will have so many more artworks of birds. And yeah, I also learned a little bit more about each of them, and yeah, I think like the next artwork is also like highly influenced because of the view outside of the window. And there was like another blackbird coming here to eat as well. And yeah, I just wanted to share that I started working on canvas. Honestly, it's been such a long while since I worked on canvas, and before I worked on canvas, it was mainly using oils, or if I used acrylics, it was still like either still life painting or landscape, observational landscape. So kind of more like realistic paintings. And as you know me, I now work more illustrative, and it's sometimes like still such a big challenge for me to kind of let go of the like how to draw correctly, because honestly I could look at one of the things, like I don't know, tree outside of the window or a bird, and I can make it super realistic because I know how to do it. But what I try to amplify in the art is fantasy, looseness, something from my imagination combined with what I see. So it's through me. And it was really interesting to start working on canvas art and trying to think like how I could transform my illustrations on paper into the canvas. And the first artwork I worked, it was I think 30 centimeters by 40. It's not such a big size. I think it's A2 size or something like that. If I'm not wrong. No, I think it's A4. No, A3. I think it's A3 size which I worked on. And I had like this canvas, which is so funny since I worked in art supply store. So I have some empty canvas, and I was going to use them eventually, but I never did. And they've been with me from Latvia to Cambridge, and then it moved back and forth, and then we moved to Cornwall, and last time we went to storage unit, I picked all of my canvas, and now they are here, and I was like, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna grab some bigger brushes, grab some paints, and work on the new art. So I'm using acrylic paint and acrylic paint markers. I have some acrylics which I had a little bit more, but I think in January I sold some of my art supplies to my Patreons, and I only kept primary colors from my acrylics. And honestly, I don't mind. So I worked on this artwork completely from primary colors. I think like one extra color was like brown or something like that, but I mixed my own browns as well. So I had like warmer yellow, cooler yellow, warmer red, kind of more pinkish red. Then I had like cool gray and cool blue and warm blue. So it was really nice to just mix things out. But what I realized throughout this painting was that these paints, when they dry, they become a little bit darker. So in the beginning, I just like kept on building several layers. And then I realized maybe I should go a little bit lighter so it will dry a little bit darker, but not dark enough, if that makes sense. So I kind of like needed to find the right balance of the colors I mixed. And yeah, I worked several days. I think I counted, and I worked 3 full days for this artwork. And honestly, I really enjoyed the end result. In place where I am considering not to sell this art, because in the beginning my idea was to sell this art, and it's also like the art I'm going to prepare for the gallery show, because most of my illustrations, they're quite small. Usually they range from A4 to A6 size, so quite tiny. I work a little bit faster if I'm using like smaller size, and if I go a little bit bigger, it can take several days to complete one artwork. So when I started working on this art, I already knew it would be several days. In the end, I was like, do I really need to sell this art? So I'm like still thinking about it, because I think like this is my favorite canvas artwork I have done ever, because this is like my only illustration artwork. But also it's because like I really like the scene, and what I decided to do is to create the same artwork but using my watercolor paints, because this is also the medium I'm picking up this year. And I feel honestly like in these past 2 weeks I have been discovering the freedom of not thinking about the new story, but working on like one singular artwork, and that is the story, rather than having like the whole picture book layout for that artwork. I have like just one artwork filled with story. And so I worked on this canvas artwork for 3 days, absolutely enjoyed it. I worked in some moments also with acrylic-based markers. I feel like these acrylic-based markers are really nice for sketching on canvas. When you use acrylic paint markers on paper, it kind of rips the paper, but when you use the acrylic paint markers on canvas, it's just like perfect. It glides like butter. It's so satisfying. And because I have like so many colors, it was nice to sometimes just grab one color and put something on top of previous layer. And I think like I've worked on like, I don't know, several layers, one top of each other. And yeah, I forgot to tell, but the brand for acrylics I'm using, it's called Amsterdam. And I also have Daniel Roney System 3 acrylics as well. So these are, I think like they're professional, but they're not like the highest price standard. Well, I want to really use all the acrylics I have, but if I will enjoy painting a little bit bigger on canvas, I might buy a little bit acrylics in the future. But so far, I just want to use what I have, and yeah, we'll see where it will lead me. And I hope you will enjoy the next following clips. I will see you super soon. And I had this sketchbook for a year and a half. I bought it in 2021, and that's when I started it as well. And it's been a sketchbook I grab and then I forget about it for like half a year, and then I sketch a lot throughout the month, and then I forget about half year more. And I'm only like, I think 10 pages left in this sketchbook. So I plan to do another sketchbook tour super soon. And I hope you enjoy sketchbook tours because it's coming. But yeah, this is the sketchbook where I just like have timed sketches. And I either do observational drawings or I do map crunching, which is the website called Map Crunch, where there is like random street view, and I just sketch with time limitations. I have rules for the sketchbook. It's like one of the only sketchbooks where I have rules, which is quite funny. But like I feel these rules are really nice. One of the rules is just be loose. Another rule is to not spend more than 30 minutes per page spread. And I think there was another rule, use map crunching or something like that, but I'm so excited to share it with you because it's like such a free sketchbook, and there are some sketches I don't like, but I like that they're there because it's part of the process, and not everything I feel like sketchbooks are such a great thing because it's like a place where you can just play and don't think about how you are going to sell it, how are you going to market it. And sometimes when there's like late evening, I just want to sketch something. I know I can always grab this sketchbook and just play a little bit more because it's like no pressure sketchbook. And after I will finish this sketchbook, I want to have another one, maybe even bigger, we'll see. And usually the mediums I'm using for this sketchbook, they are acrylic paint markers. I feel they're super quick medium to use, and I usually mix different brands together, and I sometimes create my own colors, so they are quite unique ones. And sometimes I use traditional gouache as well, but it's kind of a bit of everything, honestly. Yesterday I was cleaning up my space a little bit, and I was checking my original art in the folders because I am going to participate in exhibition, and I was just checking what kind of artworks I want to exhibit there. And I was also seeing like how should I price them and what kind of frames I need to get for the exhibition. And most of my art, they're quite small in sizes, so I need to kind of check which sizes is which. And I just decided to share a little bit with you. I will also do original artwork sale on my website in the next month, so after the exhibition. So if you ever wanted to get original art from me, stay tuned for that. I will put the information possibly on YouTube community tab. My Patreons will get early access as well. And yeah, I'm so excited. thank you so much for watching this week's video. If you did enjoy, please give this video a thumbs up so it can reach more people. If you're new here, you can subscribe to me if you wish, of course. There is no, you must do it. Thank you also so much for my lovely Patreons. They are the ones who help support my business, my art, me filming videos. And I recently got 33 Patreons, so I'm so grateful and happy. I never had so many before. And thank you everyone who buys from my store. I'm so happy as well. And if you stay till the end of this video, please write in the comments down below Blackbird, so I will know that you stay till the end. And I will see you super soon for another video. Okay, bye everyone. Bye. Bye everyone. Okay, bye.